Hello everyone, welcome to the Perspectives with Cathy Zhang. I'm back and welcome to my show, and now I'm live here in Atlanta. It's 8 o'clock local time, which means in an hour President Biden and former President Trump are going to face to face to do this first presidential debate, and it's right over there. So here where I am is the 10th Street and the Spring Street. It's the midtown of Atlanta, and the CNN studio is right over there. I'd like to talk to some of them to bring you who are thinking at this night. At the night of the debate, all right? So let's man. And so what's your name?
Brandon.
Brandon, and you?
And I'm Brad.
Brad.
And we're Mom Said No Show.
We're reporters ourselves too.
You're reporters.
Mom Said No Show.
That's our little name.
Oh,
That's our show.
okay. So what do you expect to see at tonight's first presidential debate?
Drama. I think in a way it's been introduced as a boxing event more than a presidential event.
Oh, why did you say so?
It looks so comedic, and the way they're promoting it is so fun instead of serious, you know?
Oh, okay. How about you?
I'd say a lot of the people here, I feel like I would be way more serious, but I came here and everyone's kind of like laughing, having a great time. I'm like, wow, didn't expect that, especially from a Palestine protest, pro people, a lot of people. There are a lot of different types of people here, but I'm expecting to see a lot of chaos break out in the night throughout when the debate actually does start. I think it's a little more tame right now, but that's what I think is going to happen.
Okay, so you look so young. Can you tell me how old are you?
19.
19.
I'm 18.
18. So are you able to vote this year?
Yes.
Are you going to vote?
Yes.
Okay, have you made up your mind?
I come from a family of immigrants even though I truly don't believe in who is going to represent us, but because of the background, it comes with the territory.
Yeah. And that would be?
Hybrid.
Yeah, I also come from a background of a family of immigrants too. And gotta support my people, gotta support what's best for my people. Even though they're both really questionable candidates that we have here, I think my decision could be influenced, could be not. Depends on how today's debate goes.
Okay, so you do think tonight's debate is gonna make an impact on you?
It could either make or break this guy, Just got out of jail, his mugshot goes crazy, And I think it's more of it feels like a reality show, more than an actual debate. So might get influenced, might not.
Okay, so it seems like the immigration policy would be your top issue?
Yeah. In Georgia, they recently passed the bill that affected my family.
How?
So the bill allows officers to, I guess, kind of guess if you're a citizen or not. And having that fear of, because of the way I look, being stopped for that, and being, I guess, not only judged, but persecuted as well for the way I look, kind of, it sucks, and it's like not what you want.
I see. So were you born, raised here, or like?
I was born here, yes.
Okay, but how about your parents? How they came?
My father came illegally. He was sent back, sadly. My mother came legally. She's still here.
Okay.
But,
So basically you support the border to be opened for anyone to come in?
no.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of people that do come to work, and I've seen that. But to have open borders would be crazy. Even if, people say it's like, oh, it should be open. I don't think anyone really wants it to be truly open. Nobody says, let's open it, because that's not possible. There's borders everywhere.
Yeah.
But to make it easier for someone to become a citizen, it should be the reality instead of the way it is now.
So you feel President Biden will make it easier?
No.
No?
I think he'll make it less harder.
Less. Okay,
Yeah.
so you are choosing from this less.
Sadly, yes, the less evil.
Okay. I see. What would be your top issue?
Top issue, I think it's really hard especially like from immigrant background. Parents both came here, one illegally, one illegally. So that process of trying to get papers takes already what, like 4 years. And even though like time is gonna pass, 4 years is a bunch of time. I'm gonna be what, able to buy alcohol and drugs by then. Man, I don't want to be that age and see my parents age that well. So I think they're both really like not great options, but there is a less worse option to go from, you know?
Okay.
And it's like, it's not gonna make it easier, but it will make it less hard.
Okay, yeah. So to be, you are Americans, right?
Yes.
Yeah, immigrants.
Red, white, and blue,
right? Okay, yeah. So what the greatness of America mean to you? What's greatness of America to you?
I think, sadly, there is no true greatness in America, but so many different people. There's so for people to truly be social. I think we try our hardest to be individuals instead of being a group, and that's what's missing to make it truly great. For us to be one big group, be able to socialize. That will help a lot.
Do you know that traditionally America is not for collectivism?
Yes.
Yeah? But you feel it's not now?
Yeah, it's still, we're not a collective. I think you see other cultures, a lot of cultures, where it's like a lot of people still live with their parents at such an old age. Like my aunts, for example, still live with my grandma. And here you see people like immediately. I'm moving out because I want to. But there's other people that are like, I need to move out because like I can't be with my parents for too long, like this and that. They want to be on their by themselves and stuff. And it's like, you can be with other people. It's fine. We can all be similar. Nobody needs to be different.
Make that happen. Have you ever thought about that?
I think Biden for sure. Like Trump his whole thing used to be like based on division. Back in 2016, one thing that made me so mad towards him was like, we're gonna build the wall, and it was like, I didn't do anything. Why do you have to build it? But it's like, I guess, what is it? Not propaganda, but I forgot the word. But it's like, it's an incentive to the people who want that to happen to come out and vote.
I see.
Right?
I see. So how about you? What's great about America to you?
I think America's all right. I think the American people take the opportunities that they have here. Like, they have right here, we have a lot of privilege to be here right now. Like, to have the stuff that we have that in other countries they don't, And I feel like a lot of people take that for granted here. And it's right, there is a lot of diversity here. And honestly, because of that, with diversity comes a lot of separate groups and just like stuff like this where we have like a whole bunch of different people kind of fighting for two people who really don't even know who we are. Don't really care who we are. They don't care for this. They don't care for what we're doing here. And it's like, oh, that's cool. But I do think it's a privilege to like have some of the like privileges that we have. Like, I'm grateful that I do have opportunities that I couldn't have if I was in other countries. But at the same time, it's not like the best place in the world, because stuff like this, where it's like, we don't really have unity. We have diversity.
What do you think? What kind of things to you should be the unity factor for Americans?
What would be a unity factor?
Yeah.
A unity factor. I feel like the thing is, I feel like people need to start realizing that we're going against like the same issue, and that's, I guess, what is like not unity. But the thing is, that's already like, it's kind of a cycle. It's kind of a cycle. People are like, oh yeah, I don't like your side, I don't like your side, and it's like, and we just people like, I've stumbled across people who are just yelling, and I'm like, yo, like, what's your opinion on this? They're like, whoa, let's calm down and have a little nice conversation. But no, I think the key is just to listen. Just to listen and understand that everyone's opinion is valid, as same as like my opinion is valid as anyone's out here, because that's their beliefs. I'm not gonna bash someone's sense of self.
Yeah, you brought a good point. So, how do you think 250 years ago, founding fathers of the United States, right, come up with this Constitution, right? Declaration of Independence that started America. Would you think that could be the unifying factor?
I think they thought different things back then. That's 250 years ago. A lot of things has changed. Europeans did not know how to shower. They learned showering from the Native Americans. So it's like they probably thought unifying people was a different back then than it is now. I think if they came here right now and saw everything that's going on, they'd be really disappointed and just like what we have become. And yeah, I mean, they were probably racist too, so they'd probably be. There's a lot of people of color here too.
So what do you think? Could it be like the U.S. Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the principles in there, which started unifying America, right? Make America started. Could that be a unifying factor to you?
Yeah, for sure. We just need to change a couple things in them. That's it.
Yeah.
It unified us. Hopefully, it keeps it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you learn the Constitution in the school?
Yeah. Do I remember it?
Yeah. No.
We need to remember important things like math.
Okay. Do you remember Constitution?
Maybe Second Amendment.
Second.
Yeah.
Do you agree with Second Amendment?
Huh?
Are you up for Second Amendment?
To a certain extent. I don't think people should have like AK-47s in their house just lying around for hunting. You know, I think a little self-defense firearm is nice, just for self-defense. I've been in situations where, you know, there has been an armed, like,
robbery
at gunpoint, and it's like, wow.
You were yourself?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it would be really nice to have some of that regulated with like background checks, obviously. I don't think people should just walk around the street with like guns and stuff, because obviously like personal experience, not it. Don't recommend it.
Thank you for sharing with me.
Thank you. What is the song, by the way?
Yeah, the Perspectives with Cathy Zhang. That's my name. Yeah, look it up. Nice to meet you. Yeah, Brad.
And I'm Brandon.
Brendan.
Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. All right, keep up. Okay. Hello. Hi.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. So I saw you being upholding this banner for quite a while. So what's your name?
My name's Nicholas.
Huh?
My name's Nicholas.
That's right. So Nicholas, so obviously you are for men protection at conception. Okay. All right. So first of all, are you a student of the Georgia Tech?
I am, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what are you expecting from tonight's debate?
Well, I think it's going to be it's probably going to be embarrassing in both directions. If I'm being honest, it'll be interesting to see, especially without there being a crowd. Because if Biden has a crowd, he loses. If Trump has a crowd, he wins. So I really don't know what to expect, especially with a different format, with the muting. So I'm interested. We'll
Okay. Are you gonna watch?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
It's finally.
Yeah. So do you expect such issue will be talked about this at the debate?
I think it's pretty likely. It's definitely one of the most polarizing. Abortion is probably one of the most polarizing topics on the list right now. And though it really shouldn't be, because the majority of there's definitely been some polls which say that the majority of American citizens don't support abortion without limits for all 9 months, even though that's effectively a Democrat position. And so, but I think it's very likely that it'll come up. It'll be interesting to see how far Trump goes with it, because I think Trump, it's hard to say how much Trump is, because Trump was more openly pro-life, and then he kind of walked it back somewhat recently. So it's hard to say what percentage of that is just political strategy, trying to gather more moderates, or if that's actually him changing his mind. If it's actually him changing his mind, that's unfortunate. But I think it'll be definitely interesting to see where his opinion is on that tonight, because that'll probably be the big, that'll be decisive.
Okay. So would this be the decisive factor for you who to vote for?
Yes, I think so. So I'm a Christian. I believe that politics is great, but the only thing that can bring around peace and stability in this country is the widespread repentance and turning to Jesus. And so on those lines, Christianity is very much against abortion with pretty much for all exceptions, because in the Bible abortion is murder, or because in the Bible murder is wrong, and if you already believe that murder is wrong, then there's no good reason to say that murder of an abortion should be any different from a murder of an unborn person. And that isn't even just a religious thing. So we have Teresa Bukovac here, who's a pro-life Democrat, and she's an atheist, and she's still happy to she's still happy to support this. So so it can be very people who aren't Christians, but as someone who finds, Jesus is the only God. The various protesters around here, the atheists, the Muslims, they need to turn to Christ. That's the only thing that will bring them any kind of peace.
So, we talked. I just talked to some students. Who she really, and actually this is her top issue, but she's on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, how do you understand? Among a lot of young people, students, most of them actually, probably, according to the media report, are more on the other side, pro-choice.
Sure.
Yeah. So, how do you understand that? What's your take?
Well, it's interesting. I think a number of people, especially on Tech's campus, a lot of people are just politically ignorant. They're pretty on campus. There are people who will into the Palestine protests. Well, we have some of the right wingers, but a lot of people are just too busy with their tests. So, and because of that, if they happen to be slightly left leaning because of how they grew up, we were in a big city, and that's not super surprised, then people are going to lean in the direction of what their side supports, even though many people on campus wouldn't actually support the full democratic platform of no exceptions for all 9 months, which is, if you want to return to Roe, that's effectively what you're saying. And so it's, I think that's part of it, and also I think it's just that people aren't familiar with what the facts of the matter are, because abortion autonomy is a real right, and the right to life is a real right. So the question is, which one trumps which in what situations? And I think the arguments are very strong in support of the pro-life position, because that's the best position in terms of equal rights for all human persons, which seems like a pretty good basis for morality. And so I think people aren't super familiar with that, especially with the widespread understanding of, well, if he is just a clump of cells, that's a bad argument, because we're also clumps of cells, just larger clumps of cells. I think it's just generally widespread ignorance on the topic, which is why I try to be out there doing activism on campus, trying to have conversations with people in order to inform them about that kind of thing.
I see. Yeah. So have you voted before last election?
Yes, I voted once.
Okay. Who did you vote for?
Last time I voted for.
Okay. This time you also your mind?
Yeah, I think I'll be voting for Trump, not because I necessarily love everything that he says. I'm personally not particularly sympathetic to the election stealing allegations, but not in the way that Trump has been talking about it. In terms of the media hiding various the laptop story and things like that, I think that's pretty clear about. That seems like pretty clear vote manipulation. Ultimately, Trump is the pro-life candidate. It's hard to say exactly how much of his recent walking back of that position is political expedience and how much of it is actually changing his mind. But he has a good track record of doing. He seems to be the best choice for the pro-life position, which is the most important moral issue of our generation.
I see. Do you see any changes, within your student bodies, on one way or the other?
It's hard to say, because over the 4 years, the bigger change with viewpoints is who graduates and who comes in. So I have changed some minds talking with people, having conversations on campus, but if you're talking about general campus demographics, that's going to be just depending on who Tech lets in. And it's kind of hard to say. I think there's been maybe a slightly bigger push for affirmative action type stuff. I don't even know how true that is. And so that can, people who are in favor of that will tend to be more left leaning, but although it hasn't changed all that much. I think the campus has always been pretty. Like the vocal people tend to be the more left-leaning. The less vocal people tend to be the more right-leaning. So I think they exist, but a lot of times it's harder to get them to come out and support stuff.
For you seem to be very vocal, right?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah. So you are not.
In faith. I mean, I've done street preaching on campus, preaching the Christian gospel, which I think is the more important message for people to hear. And ultimately, you have to be afraid of what people can think about you or say about you, because ultimately, I serve God and not men. So whether or not people flip me off or call me names, that doesn't matter. What matters is the message. What matters is the truth in Jesus.
So I talked to the immigrants, generation. But they talk, I asked them about the education on the U.S. Constitution. What's your take on that? Do you think there's enough education on that in the schools?
Hard to say. I know there is a required class at Tech for United States government generally, but you get to choose whether you're taking like up until Reconstruction and after Reconstruction or something like that. And so I think it's definitely the case that a lot of people, even native citizens, maybe even them especially, are probably relatively ignorant to the Constitution, and certainly beyond that, context of the Constitution. You have I forget which one of the founding fathers said it, but that the Constitution was designed for a moral and religious people, and that doesn't function. It's not fit for any other. And I think that part's definitely much much less known, more contested among people my age.
Okay. Thank you, Nicholas.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, so you said her name?
Teresa.
Teresa. Okay.
Yeah,
all right, thank you. Hi, Teresa. Oh, she's on the phone. OK， 现在有多少？还有8分20。哦，那就给他。Okay. Yeah, so Nicholas just told me, Teresa.
Yes, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Good. How are you?
Doing well. Sorry.
Yeah.
I put my phone away, so this is a little bit more.
Yeah.
How are things going?
Good. How about you?
Pretty good.
Yeah, we came to New York to cover this debate.
Yeah, good for you guys.
Yes, and you are here. Nicholas just told me your background. So maybe can you just tell us? He said you are actually Democrat.
Yep, I'm a leftist, I'm a progressive, and I'm an atheist.
Yeah.
And I'm the founder of Pro-Life San Francisco and Progressive Anti-Abortion Uprising. And I was also a presidential candidate in 2024, and I ran against Joe Biden in the Democratic primary in New Jersey and New Hampshire.
You did?
Yeah. I got 3% in New Jersey in the Democratic primary. So there really are pro-life Democrats out there. A third of Democrats identify as pro-life, and most Democrats agree abortion should be restricted. Joe Biden doesn't, and neither does the majority, or actually the entirety of the Democratic establishment. They are rabidly pro-abortion and are caught up in a toxic financial relationship with the abortion industry.
So do you think that's the reason?
Absolutely. I think this is about money and power and influence. And we know the abortion industry has deep ties with the Democratic Party, similar in some ways to the National Rifle Association, the NRA, and the Republican Party. We have these major parties that are controlled essentially by these powerful lobbying groups with major financial incentives.
Wow. So for yourself, why you think pro-life is important for you?
So I did not become pro-life until I was an atheist, until I kind of lost my faith, and I thought, wow, life is just this amazing experience where you experience the universe in this conscious way. And I thought, wow, the unborn are already in this process of developing that consciousness, this incredibly rare and miraculous experience. Who has the right to take that from them? It's not like they'll ever get it back, especially in my secular worldview. And, without a life after death or a God righting the wrongs all in the end, I just cannot square away what I understand to be true about human rights and human equality and the deliberate mass destruction of unborn babies.
Wow. So since you're Democrat, yeah. But so would this issue put you into make up your decision on who to vote for?
Well, I'm absolutely not giving aid to any pro-choice candidates, and I don't give aid to Republicans. So unfortunately, I don't have a candidate in either major party that I can support, but I am encouraging people to support either Randall Terry if they are conservative. He is representing the Constitution Party. He is a pro-life conservative, and then also my friend Peter Sonsky, who is running on the American Solidarity Party ticket. He is more of a leftist, but also pro-life. So there are pro-life candidates for people to choose from, and I think that putting a ton of support behind these candidates would send a major message to the DNC that they need to regulate their abortion stance and actually represent the majority of Democrats.
Okay, I see. Yeah, so have you, like in the past two, if you don't mind, the past two elections, who did you vote for?
So I voted for Hillary Clinton in 2016, regrettably. And then I do regret it. Even though she didn't win, I feel complicit in giving her aid. And if she had won, she would have used that aid to expand child killing. And so for that reason, I won't be giving aid to either Joe Biden or to Donald Trump. And I didn't in 2020, and I won't again this year. So likely I'll just be leaving my ballot blank. And I want to encourage other pro-life Democrats to do the same, because it's pro-life Democrats who continue to vote for pro-choice Democrats who are standing in the way of a victory for the unborn.
I see. Yeah, so aside for this issue, what are the other top issues do you think, you would like to see debated in this tonight?
I think certainly the people of Palestine deserve some more visibility in the debate. I think people all over this country who are struggling financially, people who are experiencing poverty, who are experiencing police brutality, who are experiencing systemic racism. These are the issues that matter to most people, that people encounter in their daily lives. And that all filters into the abortion issue, because every way that it's enfranchised further gives aid to an industry that's going to exploit that circumstance for their own profit, and that exploitation comes with the price of our children. It is certainly just tied up with certain financial obligations to the abortion industry, to Israel, establishment politicians. We need leaders, activists who are willing to physically put their in between the oppressor and the oppressed. That's the candidate that I want to see the party put up, and I hope that we're encouraging that with these protests today.
All right, thank you, Teresa.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you guys.
Pleasure to meet you. Okay, so I was able to talk to different people, so hopefully it gives you some idea of why a lot of people are here today, and looking forward to the upcoming debate. So what do you think in this debate you like to see to be discussed, the topics important to you? I love to see your comments. Okay, leave your comments, and I would reply those comments to you. So, that's it for now. We'll see if we still have good signals. We might do another one after the debate, but so this is for now. All right, good to see you. See you, bye-bye.
Life-threatening situations. In those situations, it's a case of triage. And then the goal is not trying to kill someone. We're trying to save as many lives as possible. If the result, in order to save lives, that requires stopping. Others would say that does not refer to so therefore they wouldn't call it an exception, but ultimately pretty much all pro-life